Hello and welcome to Casio number 6. And today we're doing audio recording and mixing of external inputs. So the performance you just saw was a MIDI recording that I did on the Casio beforehand, and an audio recording combining the guitar. If you can hear that reverb is coming from the Casio, it's coming from the mixer, so you can do some mixing and some DSP processing as you bring it in. So today we're going to be recording an external instrument and we'll be into the SD card. So we're doing SD recording, but we're also doing MIDI recording and SD recording on the piano itself. So the way that performance was set up, I'm going to show you on the exterior here, then we're going to focus in on the display, and I'll show you the mixer settings and how it was set up. So first of all, of course, mechanically, we have the instrument input here for the guitar. If you have a microphone, there's a separate input for the microphone. So we have the guitar plugged in. We have the volume turned up to a listening level. This level of the volume has absolutely nothing to do with the SD recording. So I just got the volume on a comfortable level to play the two together. And what I did is beforehand, like I said, I recorded a MIDI recording of a piece that I wanted to overdub with the guitar. So and that's how the two were put together. So all of this was done through the external mixer settings. So the first thing I did is I set up my external mixer by going to the mixer button and setting up the mixer, which I'm going to show you how to do in a second here. The MIDI recording I did beforehand, that would be another kind of tutorial in itself to show you how to record MIDI. If you don't understand the difference between MIDI and audio, well, MIDI is a recording that is done as a sequence. It's not an audio recording. It's actually recording which key I pressed, how hard I pressed it. It's recording which key, how long I pressed it. It records everything that you would do on a piano, including the pedal. And on this arranger keyboard, it's also recording the rhythm sections. I recorded all of that into a MIDI recording and saved it as my MIDI recording song. And when I press the play, it's playing back this MIDI recorded song. And that's the external part. Let's move the camera over to the display and I'll show you how I set up the mixer section. Okay, we're in on the display and I'm going to move up to use the exit buttons to move up to my top level menu. So this is what it looks like when you turn the Casio on. This is your top level. So now we're going to use that mixer again. Now remember, there was 4 parts to this mixer. I'm pressing the mixer button once. Pressing the mixer button once. Now I'm using the left arrow key to go as far left as possible. I'm already far left as possible. far left as possible is the external mixer. I'm going to remind you one more time about this mixer. I'm not going to use the right arrow key now, and I'm going to go once. There's the DSP mixer, master mixer, and the fourth section of the mixer, the one that controls the, you can see the little arrows under there, controls the individual little channels in there. But today we're using the left arrow key to go as far left until it won't go any farther to the external mixer, which is, it says part EXT, which is external. Now, this can end up in any, it's reading reverb and chorus, but that's only because that's where it was left off, and that's the way this mixer works. Whatever it was left off, that's where it's displaying. So I'm using the up-down arrows to go to the top level of the external mixer, and it starts with part. And of course, I wanted the guitar part on, so I turned it on. This is controlling the microphone and the external input of the guitar. Today we're doing just a recording of the guitar along with a MIDI recording of the keyboard. So the first parameter is the part, and that's on. I use my down arrow key, and you adjust the overall volume. Now I have the volume turned all the way up because these inputs are very, very low level. So with the volume all the way up, if you're still not getting enough external instrument level, you'll have to turn the overall keyboard down. And that is done in the function, which I'll show you a little later. Let me finish up the mixer menu. I'm going to go down one more time. You control a pan. Here you can add DSP. I'm going to press yes. And DSP is on. I press no. DSP is off. Down a level more. That's reverb. Reverb from the for the external instrument. I had it set on 99, so I had a nice long reverb on that solo guitar that I was playing. If I was playing chords or something like that, that reverb would have been way too long. And you can add chorus, which is good for guitarists too. And as we go down, you'll see this end thresh. This is noise threshold level. These inputs are very noisy. So what they do is, this is a signaling process device that takes that noise up to a certain level and then cuts it off. And that's what these parameters here is, of the 20 and the 64. The 20 is the point where the point from 0 to 127. At 127, it's going to knock out probably everything. At 20, which is the default, it's already set pretty well. They've already got it set to default to take care of most of the noise that's being input through these external jacks. And the release is also has to do with this noise release, and that is taking care of the release section of that. So if you don't understand that, just leave this at the defaults at parameters 20 noise threshold, noise release at 64. I'm going to use my arrow keys and go back, because that's the end of, oh, sorry, there's one more. Auto level, and that comes in, I'm going to use my yes, no buttons. Yes, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 levels and off. The auto level is a leveling amplifier, or somewhat of a compression device. You will also find, as you go up in numbers, that the noise will get worse and worse, because as auto level works, it brings down loud noises and brings up softer noises to reach a more medium level. It's a form of compression, and again, this is getting into audio engineering. I don't want to get too far into that, but you can experiment with the off and the 3 levels of compression that's used on this auto level. Something you use for vocals, something you use for guitar. You'll have to experiment around and see what works best for you. This is audio recording, and it's being done on a very inexpensive type device. So this isn't something you're going to record and probably sell mass-produced CDs. This is just something to make a demo or just for practice, so you can play your song, sing into this keyboard, and play it back, which is a very valuable tool, especially for vocalists. Many vocalists cannot hear what they're singing until it's played back. And that's obvious if you've ever watched these vocal contests on TV. These people come in and they can't sing on pitch, they can't sing at all. These are people that never recorded themselves and played it back. Now there's people that are actually tone deaf that can record it, play it back, and it still sounds fine to them. For vocalists like me, well, I'm not even a vocalist, but I've tried to become a vocalist, and when I sing, the pitch is correct, or at least correct sounding to me. But when I play it back, it's horrid. It's very bad and off pitch. So this is a very valuable tool for vocalists, and for a guitarist that wants to lay down some chord progressions and then play solo over it, like I did on the performance at the beginning of this video. So that's the bottom level. Let's go back up to the top level of our external mixer, which is the part. It's now all set up, ready to go. And that's how you set up the external mixer to play with a guitar, or if you're using a mic, you'll use the mic volume control, which is on the back, and the mic input, which is on the back too. I use the instrument input for the guitar. Now you can always record a guitar if you have a microphone through the instrument level too. So there's plenty of ways to record on here. I just don't think the recording quality is something that you can actually sell commercially. But it certainly is a very useful tool for many of you. This is your first keyboard and is providing a very useful tool for recording. So this is audio recording. So I'm going to turn down my volume, and I'm going to plug the guitar back in. You always want to make sure the volume is turned down all the way before you plug in instruments. And I'm going to pluck a string, and here we go. Okay, so we're all hooked up, and you can hear that reverb. At least you should be able to hear that reverb. And now I'm going to exit out of the mixer because the mixer settings are done. Now on the recording performance, now you can do this. You can play live. You can certainly play the keyboard live while you record, but in this case I did a pre-MIDI recording. So I'm pressing my song sequencer. That's where I played my song, and you can see it says Martin Jazz. That's the name of the song that I recorded. And when I press the start stop, and the start stop is on the rhythm controller. It's only start stop on the whole keyboard. When I press start stop, it's going to play my MIDI recording from beginning to end. And here you can see the tempo, the measure, and the beat as it clicks off. The C minor 7 is meaningless in this case. I was wrong. It's actually displaying the chords I played, which is another useful device for if you recorded a MIDI song. You can actually, these can be saved to the SD card, and then the SD card can be transferred to your computer, and you can mail these back and forth, email these back and forth to your friends, including this is a MIDI recording. You can also, of course, do it with the audio recording, but the Casio is not recording what's called a standard audio file. You will have to go to the Casio download site and download the software that you need to convert a Casio audio recording into a recording that anybody can hear, which would be a WAV or an MP3. So you need to buy that, not buy, but it's free. You need to download that software if you're going to take those audio recordings off the Casio and start circulating those to other people. They will not be able to listen to the Casio audio file until it's converted. So that's a little more complexities for folks that want to exchange audio files. But we're not going to get into that today because that would be a whole nother tutorial too. Today we're just doing the audio mixer from the external points, and we're going to set this keyboard up to record audio. So, as you can see, I've picked out I am in the song sequencer mode, and I've picked out my song. That's Martin Jazz 1, and it's ready to go. But I need to set up the audio recorder now. So now I'm going to this big old button over here that says audio record. I'm going to press it once, and now I'm getting a flashing red light. When I press the audio recording again, it's going to start, and here this 000 is the actual time meter for the audio recording. So you want to make sure that meter is running before you start your recording, so you don't make a mistake and record a perfectly good performance and not capture it. So I'm going to press this again on my file 01, and since there was something already there, I'm going to say no. And what was already there? Well, let's see if we can listen to it. Let's turn off the audio recording by pressing audio play. When you press audio play, you'll get this big old ST marker here, and then in the start stop of your rhythm section, it's going to start blinking. The blue light's going to start blinking. So as soon as I hit start stop, it's going to play 001 audio file. And it's playing a little guitar riff that I recorded to audio SD. So if I don't want to overwrite that song, I can use my data wheel and select number 2. So what's on number 2? No data. So number 1 had data, and I could have overwritten it if I wanted to, but I decided not to. So now I know the status of my SD card. You can save up to 20 songs on your SD card depending on the size of the card you get. And I just went ahead, at the cost of these cards are so inexpensive, I just went and bought the biggest one, the 32 gigabyte. So I'm going to hit audio play again. And now sorry, not audio play. I'm going to hit my exit buttons to get out of audio. Now if I hit exit again, it's going to take me up to the top level, and that means I won't be able to play my recording. So I'm going back to song sequence, pressing that once so I can bring up my song sequence. That way I got my MIDI recording ready to go, and now we're going to go back to audio record. Press it once. Do I want to overwrite? No, I'm going to say no, and I'm going to use my data wheel, and I'm going to go to file number 002. Now when I press record again, you will start to see these numbers count up. So I'm going to press it. It's telling me to please wait. And now you can see the number. It's recorded, and it's recording now. There's 5 seconds, 6 seconds. So I'm going to hit my start stop to start my MIDI recording. my MIDI recording's playing and I'm playing the guitar. Start. And then to stop, I'm going to hit record again. And I have 36 seconds of recording there. And when the red light goes out, it automatically goes to the play. So I'm going to play 002. I press start stop on the, and you can see it's counting up. And you remember it took about 6 seconds before I started this song. There I started MIDI recording. And there's the guitar overdub. And that has now been recorded to the SD card as an audio recording. So I know there's going to be some confusion between this MIDI recording I got going and the audio recording. We will have a separate tutorial for recording MIDI. Now there's a very simple way to record MIDI on this and a very complex way. You can record up, I think you can record up to 32 tracks of overdubbing on MIDI. But what I did here is I just did a simple MIDI recording using the rhythm section and chords to lay down my basic track to play the guitar to. So I'm going to press my exit button to get out of this. I'm going to press it again to go, and now I'm on my top level, and I now have a MIDI recording and the audio recording all saved to SD card. So if I want to go back and play that again, now I just press audio play, and you pick a song out of as you can see, there's 20 choices. It'll store 20 if you got a card big enough to store 20. And then you press the play stop, which is written on the bottom of these rhythm controllers. And we're going to play that little 30-second recording. And exit buttons in the navigation area over here. Exit, enter, arrows. Exit to go back up. And that's audio recording. Now, if you're just going to play the keyboard in, then it gets a lot more simpler. Today I combined everything so I could show you what you can do. Today I combined a MIDI recording, I combined a live guitar recording, and then recorded both at the same time to an audio recording of the SD card. But if you want to just record audio from the keyboard, if you're just going to play a piano solo, let me pick my best piano here. Okay, I got my set. I'm going to press the audio recording once. And as you know, we got recording data in 1, and we got it in 2, and we got it in 3. Now you'll notice there's a little asterisk on the side there. That asterisk is saying that there is recorded data in there. So when I go to 3, I already know 3 is empty. I don't even have to look. So now it's recorded, armed, and ready to go. As soon as I hit record again, the flashing light, you're going to see these numbers start, and I'll be able to start playing. There's the numbers that started. Press the record button again. And it automatically goes into song audio play. I'm going to press the start stop of my rhythm controller. You can see the clock. And there it is. That's my audio recording of a live piano performance. So audio recording is actually one of the easiest things to do on this Casio. It just gets much more complex when you want to take this audio recording off the Casio, put it on your computer and send it to people to listen to. You'll have to convert that file. It's not a standard audio file. But Casio provides that software for free as a download on the Casio site. I'm going to press my exit button to get out of my SD card mode, or record and play mode. And that is basically all there is to audio recording. You can do a simple piano solo to audio recording. You can do a MIDI audio recording. I could just, you can, and of course it's much, you can do it either way. You can record MIDI first, and then just play it as I did into the audio recording. It works many, many different ways. So let's do just a MIDI recording, and that'll be the third way of doing it. And of course we can always just record what's coming in off the external mixer. So let's do an external mixer recording of just the guitar. So I got my flashing light. I'm going to overwrite this time my 01 recording. So I'm going to press record again, and it won't go into record because there's something on there. I have to press yes. I want to overwrite. As soon as I press yes and it comes off of here, you're going to see the clock take off. Okay, it's recording. I can now play my guitar as a solo. So, the only thing we're recording now, so I'm going to hit the record button again to stop the recording. And we immediately go automatically into play. I press play stop button on my rhythm controller, and I should have a guitar recording now. And there it is. Okay, one more way to record, and that's using the MIDI. I'm going to review that one more time. Let's exit up to the top menu. I'm going to press Song Sequencer. There's my song, Martin Jazz 1. Now I'm going to press Record. I'm going to go to 2, and now I'm going to overwrite 2. I'm going to store it on 2. So I'm going to press record again. Wants to know if I want to overwrite. I say yes, right. I wait to see if my meters are running. There they go. Now I just press the start stop to start my MIDI song. And that's all I'm going to record is 20 seconds. Press the record again to stop. And it's all set up to play. Let's see what we recorded. And there you have it. So it played the MIDI sequence. So you can record solo into here, you can record a song that you already recorded in MIDI sequence, or you can play them both together as I did in the beginning of the recording. And that's audio recording on this machine, which is unbelievable for this amount of money that you can get this many features. And it's just a great keyboard for people that want to learn how to use a keyboard, learn how to use audio processing, learn how to use multi-tracking. This will teach you about everything you need to know about any other keyboard you're going to buy. If you use all the features on this keyboard, you will have taught yourself how to use just about any keyboard on the market. I don't care if it's a $5,000 Yamaha Tyros. You will know how to, or you'll learn how to use it so much faster after using this keyboard. So it's a great keyboard for starting and to learn how to use a keyboard. And you can certainly lay down some really nice tracks. You just have to be careful how you pick your instruments out. Well, thank you. This has been audio Casio number 6, and I'm not sure what I'm going to include next as a tutorial. I may end it here, or we may go into we'll probably do one more, at least one more, with MIDI recording, like I did with my song sequencer here. MIDI recording. Well, so there's your audio recording and external mixer tutorial for today. Thank you very much.